The First Purge is the fourth installment in the Purge franchise, not to be confused with the first Purge that came out in 2013 and just called The Purge. This is a prequel to all the other films, where for one night all crime is legal in America, and this movie explains how all of that started. The Purge movies are what they are, cheap popcorn thrill rides for teenagers. They rely heavily on jump scares that are often telegraphed before they happen, and try to get a cheap scare out of you, even if the mood of the scene isn't really asking for one. I've been pretty hit or miss with the previous films, and I actually didn't mind the last one, Election Year, which I know a lot of fans of the franchise dislike quite a bit. But I think a lot of people are feeling like these movies have run their course. The Purge films always seemed like they wanted to be cooler than they actually were. There's a lot of effort to create some fun and unique designs with the masks and executions that we get, which have always been entertaining enough, but you kind of wish more effort had been put into everything else about the films. As we saw in Election Year, these movies aren't exactly subtle in commenting about real life events, and this movie isn't any different. Of course, there isn't any attempt to have meaningful discussion with this commentary, more the producers going, well, we have to reference this. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Blumhouse productions, but it's always felt obvious that The Purge is their quick cash cow. In fact, this movie straight up promotes their upcoming films, where there's a scene that has a poster for the upcoming Halloween film, which don't get me wrong is really cool to see, but isn't this movie supposed to be set in 2014? Why do we have a poster for a film that won't exist for 4 years? Overanalyzing and critiquing a Purge film though is about as pointless as the Transformers movies. You're here to have a dumb, fun 90 minutes with your friends, and in that case, the first Purge kind of delivers. The first act of the film is dedicated to setting out why this new social experiment is taking place on Staten Island, while exploring how the residents feel about it. Most of it is very average horror setup, and for those wanting to get to the actual Purge, you might feel a bit disappointed as you do have to wait a while. We're following your usual cast of no-name actors that have to survive the Purge, including your comic relief and other typical horror suspects, with its gang leader Dimitri being our main focal point, who at the start of the film is criticized for killing people, but ends up solving most of his issues by just going full Rambo. So while there is some effort to give him this kind of redemption arc throughout the movie by reconnecting with his old ex-girlfriend, I think some of the intention may have got muddled in the execution process. Marissa Tomei is the only legitimate name actor in the film, who plays a key role in the foundation of the Purge concept, and his story helps answer some questions that I know I and many people have had about these films. If crime was legal for a period of time, why wouldn't you just go and steal a whole bunch of money? Do you really need to be going out and killing people? Well, this movie will tell you why killing is a part of this series. For most horror fans, this is just exposition that we probably didn't really need to know. When horror franchises try to explain their concept and unveil the origin, that's when you lose people, as we've seen with the Texas Chainsaw movies. You're getting that same treatment here when the origin of the Purge is laid out for you. And maybe that's just the curse of the film being a prequel, but it makes you miss the entertainment value that the original Purge had, where it could just be a self-contained horror movie about this insane concept and you didn't need to have it all explained for you. Horror movies don't need that exposition to be interesting or scary, just make a fun thrill ride. The first Purge continues the trend from the second movie, where these are now more very average action movies with some jump scares sprinkled throughout. So if we do get a fifth film in the series, I'd love to see them go back and try and recapture what the original had done, and try to better execute a tight horror experience. I know a TV series is in the works, so I would hope that Blumhouse tries to emphasize horror with that, but who knows, we'll see how long this franchise keeps making money for them. The First Purge gets a 5.5 out of 10 from me. Guys, I hope you like this review. If you want to see more reviews just like this one, stay right here for your Money Fix. Bye guys.